Aggressors most often aggress against whom? In other words, who are most often the victims? Although some aggressors choose their victims randomly, most aggression by far occurs within family units, involving spouse or partner abuse or child abuse. What is meant by cycle of violence? Do you know? Children who grow up witnessing domestic abuse and or are victims themselves are more likely to become abusers in the future. However, most don't. This is just a tendency. Fortunately, a single close parental figure in one's life who handles frustrations reasonably instead of violently can buffer this tendency. Because victims sometimes become perpetrators, you can add this to our list of who aggresses 2 slides before this one, on that slide. Wife to husband abuse is actually somewhat higher than husband to wife abuse. Shut the front door, really? Yes, but men report it less, and women are more severely harmed. Research has found that women are more often victims of severe abuse, not because men hit more, but because men hit harder. Victims of bullies tend to have low self-concepts and low social skills. Why do you think this might make them easy targets of bullying? Because they have less friends, so they have less of a protective support network. Now let's look at where. Where does violence occur the most? Rates of violence across the United States are consistently highest in the South than in all other regions of the country, followed next by the West. Cohen and his colleagues have studied cultures of honor which emphasize honor and social status, particularly for males. In such cultures, most prominent in the South, next in the West, even minor conflicts and disputes are often seen as significant insults, significant challenges to reputation, masculinity, or social status, and can thus trigger aggression. Southerners are more likely than Northerners to accept the use of violence to protect honor, but are not more accepting of violence unrelated to honor. In one study, Cohen and his colleagues compared how white male college students raised in the North and South would handle an insult. They had a Confederate bump into each in a narrow hallway and hurl an insult at him. Those from the South are more likely to think their masculinity and reputation have been threatened, to show a rise in testosterone, and to respond aggressively. Those from the North were more likely to laugh in incredulousness, to make a joke to the experimenter, and/or shrug it off. Southern institutions have also been found to support the culture of honor. In another clever Cohen study, researchers sent letters to employers around the country from fictitious job applicants who admitted to a felony. They admitted to either killing a man who was having an affair with their fiancée or stealing a car to pay off debts. Employers from the South and West replied with more understanding with fiancé honor-related crime, but not the latter, even though the honor-associated crime was murder.